where a lifeguard saved a young child and pulled them out of the water. The child looked as though they had been drowning and started CPR and resuscitated the patient to the point that the child actually began to take gasping breaths. Now, in the medical field, we call those agonal respirations. If they're not breathing like you or I do normally, and they're taking more like I describe it to my students like a fish out of water that's been out of water for some time, and you kind of see that gasping, trying to pull air in look. We call that agonal breathing or agonal respirations. In most cases, that's caused from the reflexive autonomic nervous system driving the body to try to take a breath. We obviously don't have to think about breathing. We go to sleep, we go into a semi-unconscious state when we're sleeping, and we breathe just fine normally. So it's one of those things where if we can get oxygen circulating to the brainstem, to the medulla oblongata, the very basic parts of the motor neurosensory area of the brain, all the autonomic stuff kicks in pretty well. I just looked at a study, and I'm including it on this video blog for you to read, and I found it quite interesting about how the survival rates, there's a predictor, and that is that if you can get agonal respirations with CPR, or agonal respirations are happening just before you begin CPR, statistically on the study, the people that had agonal respirations with CPR had a better survival rate and actually were discharged from the hospital more often. And that makes sense because what we're seeing here is good circulation of oxygen, and at least to the minimum level that it's feeding brain parts that are able to drive the body to start doing things it normally does when it's alive. Now, the unfortunate part about this with the UK story is that the protocol that they were using, not too much unlike ours, is that if a person begins breathing or showing signs of life, we stop doing CPR.